every time I tell people I work from home as a full-time software engineer, everybody says, oh my god, I would never be able to do that. I would just be sitting there all day watching Netflix. Well, I'm not gonna lie, that does happen. Today, I am sharing my top 3 favorite productivity apps plus a few tips on how you guys can get stuff done when you are working from home. Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm talking about my 3 favorite productivity apps, just getting stuff done, and also some tips on how to work from home. It's raining today. I'm sorry if you guys can hear it, it's actually quite loud. Rainy days during the week are my favorite because cozy inside, you make tea, make your coffee, sit down at your computer and just like hammer at work. So 16 years ago, I started my journey in tech. I left a whole traditional 9-to-5 office setup and eventually moved into a full-time remote work. It wasn't easy at first, especially when you are managing clients, mentoring juniors, and trying to film a coding tutorial all in the same week. One of the biggest challenges is figuring out when I'm actually productive. At first, I forced myself into that 9-to-5 mindset because that's what I thought was professional. But guess what? I wasn't really achieving much. I'd start working at 9 a.m. but my brain didn't even boot up until 11. Eventually, I figured out my peak productivity hours and stopped feeling guilty about not being traditional. So maybe you're super productive from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's awesome. Or maybe like me, your focus kicks in from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. The point is find your rhythm and stick to it. Now, another challenge of working from home is that it can get a little lonely, especially if you are a solo entrepreneur. You might go a whole day without speaking to anyone. And honestly, after a while, you kind of forgot how to talk. Like I'd go to record a video about Swift UI and Kotlin and be like, wait, how do you even say architect? So here's how I deal with that. Sometimes I go to a coffee shop or a co-working space just to get those human vibes. Other times I just take a short walk outside, clear my head and refresh. And once in a while, I'll set up a co-working session with some dev friends. We hop on a Zoom, mute ourselves, just work quietly together. It actually helps a lot. Another thing that really works for me is weekly planning. Every Monday morning, I open Milanote and map out the week. Something like Monday, fix bugs, review client feedback. Tuesday, record a tutorial. Wednesday, focus on building a new feature for my app. That little bit of structure keeps me grounded and focused without making me feel boxed in. Now, let's talk about to-do list. Honestly, they are lifesavers. They're not the same as having a strict calendar. Instead, they let you prioritize tasks. I usually write down everything I need to do for the week and just cross things off as I go. Watching the list getting shorter and shorter is so satisfying. And if I'm ever having one of those really slow mornings where I don't feel like working but the tasks are piling up, I just pick the easiest and the more fun task first. For me, that could be design a thumbnail or reviewing someone's code. Once I get into a groove, then I move on to the heavier stuff like architecture planning or video editing. Okay, now for the apps I literally cannot live without. First of all, Notion, my all-in-one brain. I use it for project planning, tutorials, video scripts, and keeping track of ideas. Second, Toggl, a time tracker that allows me how long I'm spending on different tasks. Super useful for freelancers and solo devs. And last, Google Drive. I organize all my files here. Scripts, client docs, backups, you name it, of course. I also use Apple Calendar for meetings and deadlines, but that's kind of obvious. So I wanted to give you 3 that I use differently every single day. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss my new tutorials, productivity tips and behind the scene content. See you in the next one.